So today I'm going to talk about the value of mentorship. Now, I've been an athlete my whole life. I ran my first marathon when I was 16. I was, a competitive runner for years, all the way into college. Um, and I always had a coach because I needed someone to teach me how to do what I wanted to do, what I wanted to accomplish. And since I'd never, done that, I needed someone to teach me. When I went to law school and I got out of law school, I had a mentor who taught me how to practice law. Now I had lots of different mentors with different, who showed me different things, and I got to observe. I mean, a mentor can be anything from a book all the way to, someone who actually sits down with you and walks you through the process. And I had all of those things. I learned from books. I learned a ton, literally sitting in a bar, listening to the older lawyers, the senior lawyers tell their war stories about how they did things and how they approached things. Though they were mentors, even though, we were drinking beer. It wasn't particularly formal, but that's one of the things that happens when you're a public defender. You get that camaraderie. Other kinds of mentors that I wound up having, included business mentors, people who actually taught me how to run a law firm because I didn't know. Law school didn't teach me that. Certainly the public defender office didn't teach me that. Nobody had ever taught me how to do this. And so, I'm feeling my way through without a compass, without really knowing what I'm doing, until I decided to get mentors. And I got mentors by reading a lot of books, books on how to run businesses. But even more importantly, I paid somebody and his program to teach me and to walk me through this. So what's the value of that? Okay, because I spent a lot of money learning the things that I learned, but the ROI, return on the investment, was, off the hook, right? I could sleep at night. I didn't have to worry about paying the rent. I knew the payroll was going to be covered. I had a business that ran like a well-oiled machine, and when I was able to sell it, right, it was turnkey. All they had to do was just do what I was doing, follow the systems that were already in place. All right. How do you do that? Well, for me, it was about mentorship. I made a lot of mistakes. I learned, some things the hard way, but for the most part, I learned from people who had already been down the path. So what's the value of mentorship? Well, I would say, number one, ROI, the return on investment. If you have a good mentor who works with you, and, coach, mentor, advisor, however you want to put it, all of those things have slightly different meanings, but basically somebody who is either showing you, literally taking your hand and walking you down the path, or simply telling you the obstacles to look at, giving you a map and showing you how to do it. Either way, the ROI off of that is literally off the hook. And it's not just a, 10x thing. It's the ability to actually stop worrying about running my firm and start, actually practicing law sort of untethered, almost like when I was with the public defender's office, but with half the cases. I was in the PD's office. I didn't have to worry about clients and business and stuff, but I was inundated with work. Now I got the best of both worlds. I didn't have to worry about paying the rent. I didn't have to worry about, paying taxes and all that, because it was all, because I was making the revenue that I needed. Okay, so ROI, the return on investment, is off the hook. Time. How long do you want to take to build your firm to the point that wherever it is that you want it to be, whether, if we're going to just use dollars, but there's other ways to measure it, maybe you want to be $1 million firm. Maybe you want to be a $5 million firm. Maybe you want to be a $10 million firm. How long do you want to take to get there? Right? Because it's literally costing you money the longer it takes. So why not shorten the time span? If I would have had the business mentor that I had when I first opened my practice in 2007, I would have been at $1 million, I don't know, 10 years maybe sooner. I don't know. I don't know exactly, but I know it would have been a whole lot sooner. And then I would have had all of those years, at seven figures, with less stress and less concerns, So time, you save yourself time. Stress, I've already referred to that a little bit, but it is stressful to lay in bed and not know if you're going to have enough revenue to cover your debts, whether you're going to have enough revenue to pay yourself, whether or not, you're going to be feeling like, hey, we're really rocking it, or hey, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to keep the lights on, right? That is very, very stressful. A mentor, a good mentor, someone who actually knows what they're doing and has been there, and this is the key, you want someone who's actually done what it is that you want to do. If you want to learn how to build your law firm so that you can retire and sell it, well, I'd be the right person to talk to, because I have done that. If you want to build your law firm from basically, barely making ends meet to having a comfortable life, I've done that too. I can help you with those ideas and reduce the amount of stress. Our job as lawyers and law firm owners is stressful by nature. Can't make all of that go away. But wouldn't you rather be worried about your clients and doing a great job for your clients than how am I going to keep the lights on? All right. ROI, the money, huge. Time, you can save yourself a ton of time. Shorten this period by walking with someone who's been there before, and reduce the amount of stress that you have in your life. And my guess is that your partner, spouse, whatever, colleagues will all appreciate if you are under less stress. It is so much better for everything. All right, everybody, I hope that this is helpful.